Ooh, what do we have here today? There's big drama going on in TCG world today, huh? So we're gonna, you know what? I forgot this. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Mark from Solo Games, and today we're gonna have some drama announcement on TCG World. Yes, drama, TCG World. However, it doesn't involve WotC or Hasbro. Isn't that crazy? So finally, some news that has nothing to do with Magic, Wizard of the Coast, or Hasbro at all. I think. Who knows? Maybe there's some other fun stuff. Anyways, big news today. So Upper Deck, which is a company that makes mostly known for their sports trading card type of things, dropped a huge lawsuit against RavensBurger Games. RavensBurger, this company that's out in Germany, and it's like an old ass company. Like I think they were founded in 1883. Not kidding, guys. These guys have been making board games and games since before your grandparents were born. Insane, right? So, so I actually didn't know who RavensBurgers was. I mean, Upper Deck, I think everyone knows, but if you're not in the sports collectible world, you may not know them. They claim they make some TCGs, but it's like not that famous. It's funny stuff. Anyways, on the RavensBurger side, I actually didn't know this company until I realized that they had another brand, Aliyah, that they release games under, which I love their games from Aliyah. So if you ever heard of the Castles of Burgundy, Puerto Rico, San Juan, these are the games that company has made, and it's all under the RavensBurger like parent company, if that makes sense. So anyways, they have a kind of like a track record for making good board games and like tabletop or maybe Euro game, whatever you want to call that. On the other hand, Upper Deck is a company that makes trading card, mostly sports trading card, majority of the time. That's what they're known for. And of course, they have some IPs on the TCG side, like Marvel Legendaries or Legends. Nobody plays that game. I don't understand. Like, and then there's like Versus System, 2PCG. Look, those games exist. That's pretty much all I can tell you. I've never seen anybody play Versus System 2PCG. I've never seen people play Marvel Legendary. In fact, if you go to, I looked this up because I was like kind of curious. I went to eBay and just said, hey, like, are there Marvel Legendary booster boxes for sale? There were none, which also tells me probably there's very little to zero interest in this game. So there's that, right? But of course, Upper Deck is suing RavensBurger Games because RavensBurger is now the new kind of like designer, owner, whatever of Lorcana. Technically, Lorcana is a Disney IP. It's a Disney-produced game, but Disney doesn't have like the studio to be building a card game. That's not really what they do. So they hire a third party to go make the trading card game for them, but it's licensed and IP'd under Disney. And of course, it'll have Disney's thing on top. In fact, I think this is right. Please double check me on this. But Villainous, the board game that's been critically acclaimed and very good, a lot of game store owner tells me is good. I have yet to try it. Is also made by RavensBurger. So this is not the first time RavensBurger has done something for Disney that has produced of high quality and Disney likes the results, right? So all these things are good for them. Now, Upper Deck claims, and the best part, right, they dropped this lawsuit on, I'm sure they filed a lawsuit, but they dropped this on Twitter. So everyone now knows about it because they want to do this open like drama thing, which is cool. So that we just get a bunch of understanding. Anyways, the owner of Upper Deck, CEO, drops this Twitter message that basically says, hey, we're going to sue RavensBurger for infringement of our copyright and stealing our intellectual property. And the idea is that they basically said that RavensBurger plus a game designer that left Upper Deck took the core of what Lorcana was and created Lorcana and is now marketing and selling that game under a totally different license, everything else, and has nothing to do with Upper Deck. And Upper Deck feels like because they did this, they actually stole IP from the company and is now branding, marketing, selling it as something else. So this brings it all back. And the funny thing about this whole transaction is that, well, Upper Deck claims that they're like a well-known TCG producer with many legendary brands and famous TCGs. They're a big major player in the TCG market. To be honest, I don't even think that's true. I don't even think they think that's true, but I think it's kind of funny that they like use that as a way to say you're like stealing from Wizard of the Coast, right? It's kind of like what they're positioning themselves to be. On the other side, like at first when I saw RavensBurger, I thought this was like a joke. Like, are you suing a restaurant? Like, what are you suing? Of course, it's just the name, and I don't know which one came first, but RavensBurger Games is located in a town called Ravensburg in Germany. Totally fine. I think Berg means town, or like, I don't know, like Hamlet, Ravenstown probably. Anyway, so there's that. So maybe they called themselves RavensBurger because they were located in that town, or vice versa. Who knows? But that's why it's an old company, right? 1883. So been there for a long time. It's like 150 years that they've been around, right? Like it's insanely long. So look, I'm not going to blame them for their name, but yeah, it's fine. So sounds like a game developer that used to work at Upper Deck was building some sort of TCG. Then, of course, the TCG has not been released yet. They left the company to go to RavensBurger because a lot of times, this happens very often. You have a career, but you're not a lifer at a company, so you leave the company, and likely because of your skills, past experiences, those kind of things, you're suited to continue doing those things. Of course, he would go become a game developer at some other company. Happened to be RavensBurger, happened to be that RavensBurger also picked up the rights to go produce Lorcana's game. And now they are being sued because Upper Deck believes that the copyright has been infringed or IP has been stolen. Now, whether or not there's standing, all that stuff, I leave it to the lawyers. Who knows? There's zero data on this, so we all are just speculating. But I think it's funny as hell that this is now dropped on Twitter, and now it's like for a drama for everybody. So we'll find out in the next 2 to 3 months if this thing even stands, has any grounds. Probably more information is going to come out as media circuits pick it up, and they're going to do their investigative journalism to go figure out what actually happens. I don't think it's going to delay any of the release for Lorcana, but that would be funny if Lorcana gets delayed release, right, fall this year, due to something like this, because maybe they're afraid of copyright infringement. I'm sure, though, Disney's very angry, because Disney is usually on the other side of these copyright laws, where they're going out there potentially suing other people for copyright infringements and IP or whatever. And now they're on the side of the receiving end of this. So I do think it's kind of funny. As far as why Disney doesn't build their own game and all that stuff, why this lawsuit is not targeted towards Disney, that's actually pretty common. If you recall, for example, Pokemon the card game, in the very, very early years of Pokemon the card game, Wizard of the Coast was actually the North American, or just America's, producer of the card game. So the card game is actually designed and produced by Wizard of the Coast in North America as a separate entity and all that stuff. And so, of course, that was because Pokemon Company is known for their cartoon and their story, but not necessarily for building a good trading card game. Of course, they need actual game designers to go do those things. So it totally makes sense that Wizard of the Coast, see, it's nothing to do with Wizards today, guys, okay? Disney go and uses a different company like RavensBurger to do Lorcana. Totally makes sense. Anywho, that's all it is. It's just, I think it's kind of funny news. I don't think it's anything super significant. I don't think Lorcana is going to get delayed. I don't even think Upper Deck potentially has any grounds. We'll find out, right? Maybe Upper Deck was on the verge of creating the magic killer, right? And then somebody else killed them or stole that from them and made a game and front run their system. Who knows? And if you're a player of Versus System, PCG, and you hate me because I basically said that your game doesn't exist and nobody plays it, leave your hate comments down below, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of funny, right? But otherwise, Marvel Legendary, yeah, please tell me if you play Marvel Legendary and not just collect, because I don't care, kind of, if you just collect the cards. But if there's a card game and you actually play it, please let me know too. I'm actually kind of curious, all these little fringe card games out there, how much is out there? And secondly, if you actually do collect the cards for Marvel's Legends, tell me how the card quality is, card stock, printing, all that stuff. I'd be kind of curious. And I don't know what these kind of card games look like, but I'm kind of curious overall with the quality and the design, all that stuff. Is it fun, etc.? Just let me know. That's going to do it for me for today. Mark, Solo Games, I'm out. I'll see you next time. Stay classy. Bye-bye.